Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB games scheduled for Thursday, June 1st, 2023. If you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your baseball picks in the comments section below, and if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, let's get into it. Here are the games for Thursday in Major League Baseball. First up, it's the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. Freddie Peralta and Kevin Gausman are your projected starters in this one. It's tough to back the Brewers in this spot with Freddie Peralta not in the best of form going into this game. When you look back on May 15th, he really struggled against the St. Louis Cardinals, gave up 6 earned runs and a homer with 5 walks to go with it in an 18-1 Brewers loss. He was a little bit better in his next start against the Rays, but he still gave up a home run and 3 earned across 6 innings, only 4 strikeouts with 3 walks. And then his most recent start, only going 2 1/3 innings, 8 base hits, 10 total runs. 6 of those were unearned runs, so the defense really did not help him in that game. But 4 earned runs, 2 homers, and his strikeout numbers got a little bit better in that one. But now you're facing a Toronto Blue Jays lineup that's been one of the best in baseball in the past month, in the month of May. And you got Kevin Gausman on the mound, who's been one of the better starters in the American League this year. He's got a sub-3 ERA at home this season at Rogers Center, 30 innings of work, 38 strikeouts, a 2.1 ERA. I got to take the Blue Jays in this game on the run line at home. Next up, we see the Philadelphia Phillies taking on the New York Mets. We're going to see Taijuan Walker and Max Scherzer on the mound in this one. It's funny, the Mets are going to be having back-to-back games of revenge games against former starting pitchers, as Taijuan Walker was a member of the Mets last season, and Friday we're going to see the projected starter of Chris Bassett for the Blue Jays. Of course, he was a member of the Mets in 2022 as well. Taijuan Walker not really having a great season for his new team, a 5.57 ERA this season. His last start, he gave up 10 base hits across 6 2/3 innings. He still had a quality start because he only gave up 3 earned runs, but he gave up a home run, only 1 strikeout. I don't trust him in this game against the Mets, a lineup that got a lot better towards the end of May against right-handed pitchers. Max Scherzer, starting to see the improvements from Mad Max now, a sub-4 ERA at 3.54 this season. He's striking out more batters. His velocity's going up. His last start at Coors Field, very tough place to pitch. Only 1 earned run in 7 innings with 8 strikeouts against the Rockies team that's just crushing the baseball against right-handed pitchers right now. We'll talk more about that when we get to that Colorado game, but give me the New York Mets in this one. I'm going to take them on the run line. In our next ball game, we see the San Diego Padres taking on the Miami Marlins. Joe Musgrove and Jesus Luzardo are your starters. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. It's for good reason we see a low total in this one. Jesus Luzardo pitching really well at Lone Depot Park this season, and this is a tough matchup. Padres hit lefties very well this year, but he's got a 2.57 ERA in 35 innings at Lone Depot with 39 strikeouts, a 233 opponent's batting average. And we saw Jesus Luzardo struggling a little bit. In the middle of May, he struggled against the San Francisco Giants, giving up 6 earned runs back on May 21st. But he really bounced back in a big way last start. 5 innings, 1 run, 7 strikeouts in a 6-2 Marlins win last game against the Angels. And Joe Musgrove's coming off his best start of the season by far. 6 1/3 against the Yankees, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts in a 5-1 Padres win. We know the Marlins hit left-handed pitchers a lot better than they do righties, so I think Musgrove can give the Padres a quality start. 2 solid bullpens. Give me the under here in San Diego, Miami. Next up, we see the Colorado Rockies taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. We're going to see Chase Anderson and Zach Davies on the mound in this one. I mentioned the Rockies hitting right-handed pitchers very well in May. That's for sure. Guys like Ryan McMahon having a great month, or they had a great month in May, and Colorado ends the month #1 in baseball in team OPS against right-handed pitchers. Their isolated power numbers are also top 10 in the league, but don't worry about these Diamondbacks. They're doing just fine. I mean, they're 5th in baseball in isolated power against right-handed pitchers that month, 5th in team OPS. So to me, 2 teams facing right-handed starters that hit righties very well should be a high-scoring game, and it's why we see a pretty steep total. The Diamondbacks also have a very high walk rate and low strikeout rate against right-handed pitchers. Bodes well against a starter in Chase Anderson, who doesn't really miss a lot of bats to begin with. I do expect some regression in Chase Anderson's game going forward, as currently he has that 1.31 ERA, but I think it's going to go above 3 pretty soon. I'm going to take the over here in Colorado, Arizona. In our next game, it's the Cincinnati Reds taking on the Boston Red Sox. We're going to see Hunter Greene and Chris Sale on the mound in this one. Chris Sale's pitching very well at Fenway Park this year. However, he's facing a Cincinnati Reds lineup that hit the ball very well against lefties in the month of May. Their win-loss record against left-handed starters and just their plain team OPS was 5th best in baseball in the month of May against lefties. I do think Hunter Green's not a bad option here for Cincinnati on the mound. A guy that can earn a lot of strikeouts. We saw already, and we saw last year, we saw this year, 80 strikeouts in 56 innings. And we saw his last start against the Chicago Cubs, 6 innings, shutout baseball, 11 strikeouts. Now it's 21 strikeouts in his last 13 innings of work. We know that Hunter Green, really the big problem in his game has been the home run ball in his career so far. But this year, doing a much better job limiting the sharp contact. 8 home runs in 56 innings. You'll take that if you're a starter like Hunter Green. So I think the Reds compete in this game. I'm going to take the 1.5 runs here with Cincinnati on the road. Next up, it's the Cleveland Guardians taking on the Minnesota Twins. Tanner Bybee and Pablo Lopez are your projected starters. I could see both starting pitchers pitching well in this game, but I do think that the matchup benefits Tanner Bybee and the Guardians just a little bit more. So I'm going to take Cleveland on the money line here. The Minnesota Twins are a very powerful lineup against right-handed pitchers. Great isolated power numbers this season. However, their on-base numbers and their strikeout rate not the best in the month of May. Tanner Bybee's got 34 strikeouts in 34 1/3 innings this season. Only 2 home runs allowed this year. And his ground ball rate's going up, and you look at the numbers, he's in the top 85th percentile in barrel percentage, 84th in expected slugging, not giving up a lot of sharp contact. I think that this matchup benefits him. Pablo Lopez, like I said, I could see him pitching well in this game. He hasn't faced the Guardians yet this season, but my big worry is Pablo Lopez's control. We see back-to-back starts with 3 walks allowed. Back on May 10th, we saw 4 walks allowed against the Padres. The Guardians do a very good job at limiting strikeouts. So, even though Lopez has had issues with the home run ball and the Guardians are the most powerful lineup, I could still see Cleveland being an issue for Pablo Lopez early in this game. And then if he makes an early exit, this Twins bullpen, not the best in the month of May in Sierra. So I think if this is a close game late, I got to give the edge to the Guardians. I'm going to take Cleveland on the money line here on the road. And the final game for Thursday's card in Major League Baseball, it's an AL West rivalry between the Los Angeles Angels and the Houston Astros. 2 lefties on the mound in this one, Reed Detmers and Framber Valdez. Going to be an 8:10 Eastern start time on Fox Sports 1. Framber faced these Angels earlier this season, back on May 9th, so not too long ago. He went 8 innings, 1 run, 12 strikeouts. He was fantastic in that game. No walks allowed, really just 1 mistake pitch, 1 home run allowed in that game. And we see Framber is in great form going into this start as well. Now, his last 2 starts against the Oakland A's, obviously one of the worst labs in baseball, but still, 15 innings, 12 strikeouts, only 1 earned run across those 2 starts in 2 wins and run line covers for the Astros. Pretty impressive stuff there from Framber. Reed Detmers, on the other end, not really the best of form going into this game. He was pitching pretty well in a string of 3 starts against the Rangers, Guardians, and Twins, but his last start against Miami, even though he only gave up 3 earned runs, he gave up a home run, he gave up 10 base hits, 2 walks to go with it. A lot of base runners in that game, and a 6-2 Angels loss. The Angels have lost 4 of the last 5 starts that Detmers has made, and all of those 4 losses on the run line or by 2 or more runs. So, it's tough to really to back Reed Detmers in this game. With Altuve back in the lineup, the Astros offense doing a lot better as of late. I think the Astros take this game on the run line. So give me Houston laying the 1.5 runs. And that's it. Those are the games for Thursday in the MLB. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to put your baseball picks in the comment section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pickdawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.